Have you ever been to a landfill or dump or just looked outside and noticed all the trash buildup there is? Well, there's a solution to that, and recycling has always been the answer. Wastefulness is at an all-time high. Smog created by industry-emitted fumes and toxins are our form of oxygen now. Where there was pure, clean oxygen at one time is now a hazardous atmosphere to live in. Autism, cancer, and other extreme disorders and diseases are directly correlated to the harmful pollutants within our ecosystem. Our water supply has increasingly been contaminated with oil spills, trash, sewage, and more. A change can be made, and an easy solution to the problem should have been addressed a long time ago. Recycling has always been the answer. Did you realize that Americans toss 2.5 million plastic bottles away every hour? The accumulation of paper and plastic cups, spoons, and forks thrown away is enough to circle the earth 300 times. Think about the entire world now. That number is even larger and ever increasing. In 2011, Wikipedia stated that 1.3 billion tons of foods, or a third of the global food production, are lost, wasted, or thrown out annually. In the U.S., 40% of food waste occurs at home. Society has grown accustomed to ignoring the wastefulness within the environment. Our ecosystem has taken a beating. Now think about all the oil consumption, water and food waste, depleting forests, and non-biodegradable products like plastic, aluminum, glass, styrofoam, and many more environmentally hazardous items alike. Humans continuously affect the world and everything around and in it. People, not just the environment, are at risk. WebEcoist.com explains that lead-acid batteries, or car batteries, have always posed a threat to the environment. Much research has been done on this, and according to Scientific American, studies have revealed a 4 to 7 point drop in intelligence, according to the IQ test, with every 10 microgram per decimeter rise in lead in a contaminated area. Global warming is also another ongoing factor where greenhouse gases are emitted into the atmosphere on a daily basis, creating holes in the ozone layer, in turn allowing easier access from UV rays to harm our vulnerable skin cells. Why do you think cancer is one of the #1 causes of death these days? According to the Central Intelligence Agency, natural resources like trees, gas, fish, water, petroleum, coal, copper, iron, talc, chromite, sulfur, timber, and items like our precious salt could disappear forever. Wikipedia illustrates that about half of the world's original forests have been destroyed by 2011, the majority during the previous 50 years. Deforestation is an everyday, all-day occurrence. So what then? The very air we breathe is vanishing as we speak. Not only that, where are all the forest animals and wildlife to take refuge? Our future, as well as theirs, is at stake. The only solution to this fixable situation is to recycle. Humans have been recycling as early as the 1920s, although even with this manageable solution, our communities seem to refuse to help in the simplest way possible. In many states like California, Texas, Washington, Maine, and a few others, recycling has been made a law. I believe this law should be established across the globe. According to the Recycling Super Guide website, certain objections toward recycling include the idea that it's just too difficult, or that recycling uses more energy than saves, or that the thought that we have enough landfill as it is. Some other negligent and assumed mentalities toward recycling include the idea that it all ends up in the same place anyway, and it's a waste of time for people with professional skills. If we intend to have a bright future, or a future at all, recycling is the first, most basic step. Reduce, reuse, and recycle is the motto we should have been living by since day one. Since we cannot go back in time to alter the events of man versus nature, our only hope for survival is to act now. You are in debt to your environment. Mother Nature has given so much of herself, never asking for anything in return. It is your duty and responsibility to take account for your actions. As a dominant species, we must protect our world. Otherwise, we'll have nothing to show for in the later years. Let us not shorten Earth's lifespan or ours. Instead, immediate action is vital to our survival. Recycling can give back Earth's younger years where the planet was not consumed with deadly, poisonous toxins and pollutants. Wasteful America does not have to own that title. You are the key. the answer, and the hope for the future. You can make all the difference. All it takes is for you to choose to make the change for the better and decide to recycle and cut back on wastes. The motto we should have been living by, like I said, is reduce, reuse, and recycle. And this is what the world would be like if we just recycled. Look how happy it is. So, this is what we should live by, always. Happy world. Rather than using things like plastic jugs and stuff like that, or plastic bags, we could always use stuff like the ones you buy at the stores, and that would help out too. And paper even. These are all recyclable materials that we should have been doing all along. If you stand up for Earth and recycle, the planet would be a cleaner, safer environment for your friends, families, and loved ones and neighbors. Rain could be clean, fresh water falling from the sky rather than the acid rain we know today formed from burning fossil fuels such as sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides and reacting to the atmosphere with water, oxygen, and oxidants, forming acidic compounds. Imagine a world with beautiful, vibrant rainbows, fluffy little bunnies hopping around, gorgeous butterflies fluttering, and fancy unicorns prancing around. Recycling can make that happen, or at least up to the unicorn part. As a result of our ignorance to the environment, a number of species have actually gone extinct. In fact, the subspecies of tiger, the Bali tiger, went extinct in 1937 due to loss of habitat. Deborah Bose, journalist for Buzzle.com, stated that a total of 37 animal species became extinct in the last 50 years. Rather than allowing humans to wreak havoc on its environment any longer, we must live consciously and recycle. This possibility starts with you. You can make the world a positive, clean, and beautiful place to live in. The pros outweigh the cons in terms of recycling by a bazillion%. If we continue this path of destruction, Earth will have nothing left to show for but a cloudy, trashy, and ignorant community with the human population as the smartest species on the globe to have taken down an entire planet. Instead of allowing such an atrocity to take place, action towards recycling and reducing waste would be much to our advantage. In order to make a difference for the better, you need not the strength of an ox or the heart of a lion, but the conscious choice and effort to create a positive change. By recycling, sorting, reusing, and cutting back, you can convert the present environmental status from a wasteful and polluted ecosystem into a conscious, conservative, beneficial, and beautiful place to live. Let us not stand back and watch the world deteriorate as we impact the environment in a negative fashion. Rather, let us stand up for Earth, fight the acceptance of a world inhibited with a wasteful people, and make a positive change that can add another 1,000 years to Earth's lifespan as well as for our natural resources.